So this is a just a brief little look at an event that happened in the Botanic Gardens in Glasgow the other week. Now, I wasn't actually there. I was on holiday. Fiona was there, but it was with people that we've done a few events with before, and also with the Lord Provost. So it's called the Peace Garden, planting for peace. So do you want to say a bit, Fiona?
Yeah, this was something that we covered the Hiroshima anniversary last year for Glasgow CND. And they did mention that this year they were hoping to do something because it's the 80th anniversary of Hiroshima and it's the 850th anniversary of Glasgow City. So it seemed like a good time to do something. And last year, we actually had a chat with the Lord Provost, Jacqueline McLaren, who at that time was just thinking, Glasgow's involved as one of this International Mayors for Peace project. And at that time, she was thinking, oh, what could we do, be part of the peace agenda that would be meaningful? So we thought we would just replay part of that conversation from last year, just to remind ourselves of where they were last year, and then we can have a look at where they'd actually got to, because this project that she had in mind has now become real, which is lovely. So this is Jacqueline McLaren, the Lord Provost.
Glasgow's very much on board with being part of this Mayors for Peace programme. And during all that time, Scottish CND, Jean Anderson, had contacted me and she said, I was reading in the newspaper about these ginkgo saplings and we're very interested in finding out more about this. And I said, well, why don't you come in? We can have a meeting in my office and see what you can bring to the table with us as part of the city, a city project. I says, I was thinking about creating a peace garden with these ginkgo seeds. Mm-hmm. But when Jean came in, we had a meeting and I said, look, we need to create something for the anniversary, which is next year. So 80 years next year. And I said to Jean, what could we do? I was thinking about a peace garden with some nice benches and, nice little codes, these little codes that you can log in and find out the story of why the benches are here and why the ginkgo seeds are here. And we're going to try and create this peace garden. And very quickly, Jean says, well, the Scottish CND, we might be able to put a plaque there as well. And I says, yeah, the more the merrier. If we get a plaque there and we get one of these QR codes that tells the story of why we're here and why we're part of the Mayors for Peace programme. It's a great honour to be part of it during my term of doing that. And it's something that I'll look back on and say, well, that's there for other people to see 10 or 20 or 30 years down the line. That garden will be there. The ginkgo seeds will have matured by then. We're still kind of discussing it all, but my plan is to have some nice benches there, QR codes, some plaques, and a peace garden of reflection so that people can come and sit there. And the idea was to get some children within the vicinity of that area, which there's 2 schools in Rockhill and a couple of schools in the Hill Headward, to be part of the initial project. And then when we launch it next year, the young people will bring what they've created to the table.
It's great. She was so behind it, isn't she? It's really nice seeing that again. A while since I've watched that one. This was great. Yeah.
I think it's lovely to go from that was the planning stage, and what they actually had on the 6th of June, they were calling it a soft launch. There is a formal launch, which we'll tell you about in a minute. But at this soft launch, it was a short ceremony. The garden is being created in the Botanics. Just as you go in, it's on the right-hand side before you get to the cafe, I think. And it's got a Japanese kind of feel to it. It's got gravel paths and it's got an area of planks, I'm going to call them, but you can see that it needs the benches, it still needs the plaques, and it's got this area of planting as well, and then a beautiful pond in the background. It's a really spot. So what they had was some very short speeches, which we're going to play you, and then Jacqueline had mentioned children from local primaries. So there was 2 local primary schools came, and they had they prepared haikus, and they had a song for Glasgow, which was just lovely. And then they let them loose on the planting. So these kids actually planted the plants in the garden.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's wonderful because that's a place they can come back to as they get older. And at some point, they'll be looking at these much bigger plants going, I did that when I was a kid, and maybe showing their children that, which is a lovely idea.
Because I remember when one of the things that came out of that event and meeting that we covered with them last year was that the people realizing that children and younger people, sort of teenage, early 20s, don't necessarily know anything very much about Hiroshima and the awfulness of it. And so it sounds like, I mean, you're right, already there's a couple of schools got involved, and fantastic.
Yeah, and they've done a whole project leading up to it, which, again, filling that gap. But I think particularly timely when this is a week when we've had the UK government, Starmer in particular, horrible warmongering language coming out about he wants us to be armor plated and battle ready. That's a horrible vision for a society. And, the idea that we've actually got people who want the opposite of that. I know which one I'd rather have my kids growing up in. Yeah. Anyway, though, let's just first of all play the short film, and then we'll tell you about the formal opening. And there's also a crowdfunder to come up with some of the equipment for the garden. So we've got a link for that as well.
Thank you very much for joining me here today. This is a favourite spot of mine in Glasgow, the Botanic Gardens. I spent hours of my life as a child in Kibble Palace over there. I used to come and feed the squirrels as a kid. Anyway, a very special welcome to the young people here today from St Charles and North Kirbynside Primary School. I'm especially pleased that you're here with us. We're gathered here today ahead of the 80th anniversary of Hiroshima, Peace Day, which is on the 6th of August this year in 2025, to inaugurate a symbol of peace and resilience in our community. Glasgow's very own Peace Garden will commemorate the atrocious atomic bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and its devastating consequences. It will stand as a testament to our collective commitment to peace. I couldn't think of a more fitting setting for such an important tribute as part of International Mayors for Peace project, which Glasgow is involved in. The planting of tobacco tree seeds, which unbelievably survived the bombings in 1945, serve as a poignant reminder of the enduring spirit of humanity. These precious survivor seeds, given to Glasgow as a lasting and living memorial to peace, will grow and embody the strength and hope that emerge from these tragic events. Much like the process of growing seeds into trees, peace is a concept we must continue to work and nurture. We all have a role to play in sustaining peace. This space will invite citizens and visitors to reflect and learn, providing a sanctuary for all who visit. Here in our city, we are very fortunate to have the expertise of one of our fantastic curators, Hiroshima, who is from Japan and whose mother witnessed firsthand the radioactive mushroom cloud that you've all been learning about during this project. I have no doubts that our Peace Garden will flourish under his watchful eye. Friends, I don't want to keep you much longer, as I'd like to thank you all for your support and dedication to creating such a beautiful symbol of peace in our fantastic city. Well done.
Lord Provost, distinguished guests, teachers, but most of all boys and girls. My name is David and I'm part of Peace Education Scotland, and I'm thrilled to be here today in the opening of Glasgow's Peace Garden. Peace is not just an absence of war, it is even more important than that. Peace needs to be celebrated, honoured, talked about and enjoyed. Above all, peace needs to be cultivated, just like a garden. That is why this is the perfect embodiment of everything that peace stands for. I'm delighted to offer the Lord Provost our congratulations in bringing this initiative by the Mayors for Peace to Glasgow. Thank you.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Botanic Gardens. My name is Hiro. I'm from Hiroshima, and I'd like to tell you about the ginkgo. By the way, do you know the dinosaurs? Do you know dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs?
Can you see them around you now? No. It's all disappeared. It's called extinction. Have you heard of that word? Extinction. So the ginkgo was already on Earth when the dinosaurs are active. Did you know that? No. So the millions of years ago, almost all animals and plants were extinct many times, but the ginkgo survived from the extinctions. So the ginkgo is called, known as a living fossil. So the mother tree of this ginkgo survived the atomic bombing in Hiroshima 80 years ago. Almost all trees in Hiroshima city was destroyed by bombing, but the mother tree of this ginkgo survived. So we received the seeds from the mother tree, and we sown this seed, and now grown this side. And the ginkgo experienced many disasters in its long histories. So this ginkgo from Hiroshima commemorates the 850th anniversary of Glasgow, the 80th anniversary of atomic bombing, and praise the peace of the world. So thank you for support this project, and thank you very much for coming today. Thank you very much.
Good morning everyone. We are Primary 7-6 from North Kevenside Primary.
And we are P65 from St Charles Primary.
And we are very proud to be a part of opening this speech garden today, Peace Garden today. We've been learning about what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki during the war. It was sad to find out how many people were hurt and how families were affected, even now all these years later. One of the stories that meant a lot to us was the story of Sadako and the 1,000 paper cranes. Sadako was a young girl who got sick after the bombing, and she started folding paper cranes to try and get better and to wish for peace. Now people all around the world fold peace cranes just like her.
We also learned about Japanese culture, and that's how much people in Japan care about nature. That's why it's so special that we are planting ginkgo trees in the garden. Ginkgo trees are amazing because they survived the bombing in Hiroshima and kept growing. They show us that even after something terrible, there can still be new life and hope. This garden is a place where people can come to remember, to think and to hope for peace. Thank you for having us here today.
To celebrate this special occasion, we have prepared some haiku and tanka poetry for you.
Morning comes, cherry blossoms grow,
when flowers fill the trees, blossom seen as a sign of peace. Dream of a world that wins.
each shall wish for peace, one a hope for no war, peace and ever.
Peace lightens the heart. It is a symbol of hope. Melting the anger, happiness begins to grow, making the world whole again.
My mind will wander through the possibilities. Peace is all I want.
Silent ocean waves reflecting below the sky, glistening under the sun.
Peace is a flower, shining despite the darkness, delicate but strong, overcoming the evil, bringing joy and happiness.
When the spring flowers bloom, the calm wind blows, the sun shines down, and I find my peace.
Lines lost in the storm, rolling through the fields of death. I think about you whenever flower blooms. May peace be with you today.
As the wars wither, the ginkgo buds start to bloom, a symbol of hope, one that shall stand forever. In your shade you can find peace.
Oh, they come from every corner and from over the water to the dear green lakes by the rivers to become the sons and daughters of our home, Glasgow, and we'll all sing together with our fellows, friends and family who belong here in our city. It's our home, Glasgow. So come or just detach the pattern. We're as blind as the right. Tack our boat head in the water. It's my name, Glasgow. And we'll all sing together with our fellows, friends and family who belong here in our city. It's our home, Glasgow.
I would say I've heard that song in other schools in the city, but that's the best version I've heard, so that was fantastic. Well done. Brilliant. It's fairly coming on here, isn't it? Maybe you used to only be that size. You're in the office.
Just saying there's a
They're getting bigger, isn't it?
So I think well done. You've done a great job. To do with a good workplace like that, my God. Right them out. You're welcome to hire them if you want.
So we're gonna get take your evil and then that's it. We're gonna need to take a bit of a deeper move than that. Okay. Then just move on to the next one. Maybe talk over if someone else has trouble. That's perfect. That's alright. We got it! Yes! We just between soil.
That wasn't that lovely.
It was lovely. It was lovely. And in case, just in case anyone's thinking, there was a lot of checking went on beforehand with the schools, and they knew they were going to be videoed, so don't have any concerns about that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So that was the what they called the soft launch, but the formal opening of the gardens is going to be on the 6th of August, which is the Hiroshima anniversary.
Yeah.
It's going to be at 11 o'clock. It's in the Botanics in Glasgow. They're hoping to have Japanese drummers, which would be really good. And I suppose some more speeches, or maybe even a rerun of those ones, I don't know. But that would be lovely. We're hoping to be there to film it. And there is a crowdfunder which Peace Education Scotland have organised. So we'll put the link in the notes below. And they're only looking for £2,000, which when you think Starmer's prepared to pay 15 billion to have us all incinerated, 2,000 for a peace garden seems like not very much. I'm certainly happy to put a contribution to that in, I think, myself. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll be back again in August with the formal launch.
Great.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to make sure you're following us and subscribe to us, then you get notified every time we put something new out, so you don't miss anything. That would be great. Also, you can click the little bell if you're watching on YouTube.
And sign up for our mailing list. You can do that from the website, and we always send one out at the beginning of each month to tell you what's happening. Last but not least, you can buy us a coffee on coffee.com.